Remember, for more information about New York City government services, dial 311.
Hi, this is Queensborough President Melinda Katz, and I would like to invite you to come see the World's Borough. Our borough has 2.3 million residents and hosts over 130 different languages. Visit one of our cultural institutions, taste foods from across the globe at a local restaurant, take a ride on our subway lines, explore our beaches or our 16,000 acres of parkland. To learn more, join our mailing list at info@queensbp.org or like us on Facebook at facebook.com/QueensBPCats.
This is New York City Controller Scott Stringer. It's my job to safeguard New York's fiscal health, to root out waste, fraud, and abuse in the city budget, and make sure all agencies work efficiently to serve your needs. The City Controller's Office is working hard to ensure that your tax dollars are being spent on programs that create good-paying jobs and help all New Yorkers climb the economic ladder. As City Controller, one of my most important responsibilities is to manage New York City's 5 pension funds, which are valued at more than $160 billion in assets. Public pensions safeguard retirement security for over 700,000 active and retired civil servants. My goal as controller is to make sure every New Yorker has an equal opportunity to succeed. Achieving economic justice in New York City is not a choice or an option. It's a responsibility. And my team and I look forward to working with you to make that promise a reality.
Remember, for more information about New York City government services, dial 311 or visit nyc.gov.
¿Trabaja en la ciudad de Nueva York? ¿Tienen empleados en la ciudad de Nueva York? Soy Julie Menon, la comisionada del Departamento de Asuntos del Consumidor.
Queremos informarles sobre la nueva ley de ausencia laboral debido a enfermedad. Esta ley le exige a la mayoría de los empresarios que les concedan a sus trabajadores permiso laboral por motivos de enfermedad, para cuidar de sí mismos o de algún familiar. Llame al 311 o visite nyc.gov y busque Paid Sick Leave para saber si usted está amparado por esta ley.
This is Manhattan Borough President Gail Brewer. In February, taxpayers receive their W-2 forms from employers and can start to file their taxes. Did you know that many families qualify for the federal Earned Income Tax Credit and don't do the paperwork to apply? If you qualify, the credits could be worth up to $8,000. Find out if you qualify by visiting manhattanbp.nyc.gov/tax credits.
Remember, for more information about New York City government services, dial 311.
Did you know that New York City has a store? Well, it does. It's the City Store, the official store for the City of New York, where you can find everything from gifts and collectibles to municipal publications like the Green Book, and including a diverse collection of books about New York. So come to the City Store, located in the North Plaza of the Municipal Building. For more information, dial 311 or visit www.nyc.gov.
Hi, I'm Victor Calisi, Commissioner of the Mayor's Office for People with Disabilities. Are you a tenant with a disability? Do you receive federal assistance such as SSI or SSDI? If you live in a rent-regulated apartment and earn $50,000 a year or less, you may be able to freeze your rent. Contact 311 or visit nyc.gov/rent-freeze to learn more about the New York City Rent Freeze program.
Remember, for more information about New York City government services, dial 311 or visit nyc.gov.
Do you work work in New York City? Do you employ anyone in New York City? I'm Julie Menon, the Commissioner of the Department of Consumer Affairs, and we want you to learn about the city's new paid sick leave law, which requires most employers to allow sick leave so employees can care for themselves or a family member. Call 311 or visit nyc.gov and search paid sick leave to find out if the law applies to you. Together, we can keep businesses strong and keep New Yorkers healthy.
Hi, I'm Maria Torres Springer, the Commissioner of the Department of Small Business Services. If you're thinking about starting, operating, or growing a business, we can help. New York City Business Solutions offers free services, including business courses, pro bono legal assistance, help getting financing, and much more. We can also save your business time and money by helping you train and hire the best people. For more information, call 311 and ask for NYC Business Solutions. Visit us online at www.nyc.gov/SBS or follow us on Twitter at NYCBUS Solutions.
Remember, for more information about New York City government services, dial 311.
The city's Comptroller Bureau of Law and Adjustment settles and adjusts claims filed for and against the city. 30,000 claims are filed every year, and we are working hard every day to process these claims in the fastest way possible. Did you know you can file a claim online? Just visit controller.nyc.gov and click on Forms and RFPs. There you can also find helpful information and step-by-step instructions on how to file electronically or manually. If you've received notice that your case has been settled, please allow 90 days from the date the city receives your closing papers for payments to be processed and sent.
Hello, I'm Parks Commissioner Mitchell Silver. New York City Parks is fostering equity in our parks by creating thriving public spaces for all New Yorkers. The Community Parks Initiative is bringing
Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the hearing today. First, I want to talk about Intro 727. Well, literally since the first day of this administration, we have been focused on helping victims of Hurricane Sandy. It's been a top priority for us. A year ago, we announced the overhaul of the Build It Back program. It was a program that, upon us arriving here in City Hall, had zero reconstruction starts and zero reimbursement checks sent to homeowners, so we were essentially starting from zero on many levels. The families, nonetheless, while waiting for the city government to respond effectively, many families who had lost everything, were mired in red tape, were left in a very insecure situation, didn't know when relief would be coming. That, thank God, feels like a long time ago because we've made a lot of progress, and I give tremendous credit to everyone involved with Build It Back and all the other agencies that have been involved, and of course our elected officials who pushed us very hard to fix the situation and have been key partners in making the program work on the ground. Now, in terms of Build It Back, nearly all our active applicants have had an offer made to them by the program. Nearly 1,200 construction starts have been initiated, with 600 of those 1,200 now completed. Over 3,500 reimbursement checks have been sent to families, and additional financial support is being offered to homeowners on a variety of fronts: water bill relief, waiving the permit fees for Build It Back projects, and of course property tax relief. Today, we're removing an unfair tax on Sandy victims who rebuilt or repaired their homes. Intro 727 allows the city to limit increases in the assessed value of Class 1, 2, and 4 properties that were damaged during Sandy. The sponsor, Councilmember Vinnie Ignizio, we thank you. The New York State real property tax law limits how much the assessed value of a New York City property can increase annually, but these limits don't apply when the value theoretically is increased due to physical changes to the property. So as a result, Owners who rebuilt or repaired Sandy-damaged property who were coming back from the disaster were treated as people who had made property improvements and saw increases in their property tax bills. It was absolutely a catch-22. It was wrong to penalize the victims of Sandy for rebuilding or repairing their homes after they had lost so much previously. So this bill would make sure that the value of the homeowner's property is treated as if the storm had never occurred to begin with. So it takes us back to the time before the storm and protects these homeowners. Last year, the Council passed a one-year tax abatement. This new bill provides long-term property tax relief through 2020. And the bill will take effect after legislation which has been passed already by the Assembly and Senate is signed by the governor. So we in the city, working with our colleagues, elected officials on both the city and the state level, we're using every tool we have to ensure that families have everything they need to fully recover from Sandy. I want to thank a number of leaders who've been involved in this process of achieving these changes to help the victims of Sandy. Obviously, the Speaker of the State Assembly has been very much involved and has been very helpful in this process, Speaker Carl Hastie. I want to thank the sponsoring members of each House who sponsored the authorizing legislation, Senator Lanza and Assembly Member Goldfeder. In terms of the Council, I want to thank Speaker Melissa Mark Viverito. And now I'd like you to hear from my two colleagues. First, Finance Commissioner Jacques Giha.
Well, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Councilmember Inizio, thank you for your support. I also want to thank my staff at the Department of Finance for their hard work and creativity in drafting this legislation. With the enactment of this local law and the passage of legislation yesterday in Albany, the Department of Finance can now provide tax relief to 2,200 properties that have been rebuilt or repaired since damaged by Hurricane Sandy. In essence, the assessed value of these rebuilt properties will be the same as they would have been had the storm not occurred. The assessment will change beyond market increase only if the homeowner rebuilds a larger house than what existed prior to Sandy. More importantly, like the mayor said, the law will apply to rebuilding effort reflected in assessed value for fiscal year 2016 through 2020. Homeowners do not need to take any action to receive the benefit. The Department of Finance will send a revised notice of property values to impacted homeowners sometimes in May. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We like it when the Department of Finance thinks for us. Very good. And now to thank the sponsor of the legislation here in the City Council. He has been a strong, strong voice in defense of families that were affected by Sandy, and he certainly helped to make sure we all do our job as well as possible. I want to thank him for his hard work. Councilmember Vinny Ignizio.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. And it seems not so long ago, but also very far away, that then public advocate Bill de Blasio came out of his truck in Tottenville, if you remember, one of the few leading elected officials that came by to Tottenville and ensured that his office would be there to help, and his office has. Since this administration's taken office, they have come to all of us has been affected and say, how could we build a better mousetrap? And I think we've done that, and all credit to your administration for getting that done. You know, when I uncovered this Sandy tax, I went to the administration, I went to the State Assembly, and obviously I went to my friend Andy Lanza in the State Senate. You know, what we did was we laid out the case to say this is, in essence, a Sandy tax. And everyone on both sides of the aisle, leadership and all members in between, said we have to correct this, and now the Sandy tax is no more. And I appreciate that, appreciate the partnership, and that's what happens when people shed their labels and say we're going to think about the people first and stand up to our word, which says we will do whatever we can to help those that were impacted and affected by Sandy, and I think we've achieved that. I want to thank my Chief of Staff, Peter Spencer, who's worked very hard, both in the recovery office and now in my office with Sandy, and obviously my colleagues, Phil Goldfeder in the Assembly, Senator Lanza, and the leadership in all sides of the houses, including Speaker Melissa Mark Viverito and Speaker Hastie and Senate Majority Leader Dean Scala. It's a great day, and help, as we said, will continue to come, but this is a fix that really needed to right this wrong, and I'm happy we were able to do so. Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Let's sign the bill.
One, two, three, four, five, six. You could do 7. 7? Yeah, keep an extra one for the finance staff. Okay, 2 so far, so 5 more.
How it is. I didn't do that much math, but because we gave one of the lands. Right. We doing 6? We doing 5? We doing 6? 6. I hear a voice.
The more the merrier. 6.
That's right.
You can keep it up to the side, hitting some of the staffers. Thanks.
It's now law. Well done. Well done, sir. Thank you. All right, one more. Okay. Now we're going to talk about Intro 747. Intro 747 extends the deadline for submitting the executive budget to City Council to May 7th. It's sponsored by Councilmember Jalissa Ferreras, the chair of the Finance Committee. We also make corresponding adjustments for other charter-mandated actions required during the executive budget process. Gives time to fully assess and refine the budget prior to submitting to the Council. I want to thank Speaker Melissa Mark Viverito, OMB Director Dean Fullahan, and of course Chair Ferreras for their help with this legislation. All right, and let me just say a quick moment in Spanish about both bills. En el día de hoy he firmado 2 leyes. Una de ellas extiende la fecha límite para presentar el presupuesto ejecutivo. La otra protege a familias que reconstruyeron después de Sandy para que no paguen impuestos a la propiedad más altos. With that, we will sign this bill.
I think John Paul wanted to pen. One pen for John Paul.
John Paul, they never got one after. And it's law. All right. Thank you, everyone.